It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man. Just let the case land. It's here, it's in safe hands. This is God work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes, man. This is MTGV, and you with Miss V. She keep her ear to the streets.
Welcome in, everybody.
This is the place that you wanna be, but all trolls we delete. You better believe. Just so you know,
please smack that thumbs up. If you're here on the replay, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're here now and not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So today we're gonna be talking about Jazmir Tucker.
But it's getting so out of control. Thank you for tuning in to MTGV, True Crime TV. Y'all know what it is, man. Team Vibe, Miss V. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you leave a comment too. Yeah. We're gonna see you on the flip side, man. Until then, we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I was not prepared. Shout out to everybody in the building. So I've been wanting to talk about this case. It is concerning a 15-year-old who was unalived by a said trigger-happy Akron police, who was also involved with unaliving Jalen Walker. And I don't remember what year that was, but this is what I'm seeing on Facebook right before I came on. I did not know this. But I want to look at the body cam footage concerning this case and find out what's really going on. Please smack that thumbs up and drop down in the comments and let me know who's here.
Akron City Council, including its president, saying they want the police officer who shot and killed a 15-year-old off the job immediately. Jazmir Tucker was killed by police on Thanksgiving night. Officers are responding to reports of shots being fired when they came upon Tucker. Police say the 15-year-old did have a gun in his pocket. BCI is investigating, but council members are demanding action. 19's Katie Tursick has the story.
Akron City Council members, including Council President Margot Somerville and Councilwoman Jan Davis, are calling for the firing of the officer who shot and killed Jazmir Tucker on Thanksgiving. They want to know why there was a delay in aid after the officer shot the 15-year-old boy. The mayor and Jazmir's family all have similar questions, but they won't get those answers until the BCI finishes their investigation.
And I think the thing that was most troubling to me was how long
Welcome in, Sophie.
it took to render aid to Jazmir.
Wow.
To see him laying there and no
course.
one did anything. That should be a fireable offense.
People in the community also shared their feelings, demanding the officer who has not been identified be fired. Right now, that officer who fired the shots and the officer's partner are on leave. During last night's meeting, you could also hear people protesting outside. To be clear, Jazmir did have a gun on him. But another big question with this is why that officer began shooting if it was zipped up inside of his coat pocket. Council members also discussed the need to make change in police training and accountability. In the newsroom,
Man, it ain't got nothing to do with
19
training.
News.
Hold on now.
Your video.
First of all, I do want to say we're going to learn about this together. I do not know the details of this case.
I want to take to that breaking news from Akron we told you about. Within the past hour, Akron police released body camera video that shows the moments police shot and killed a 15-year-old boy they say was armed. Also, you saw here on Channel 3 that the boy's family
How did they
held
know
a
he
news
was
conference. Kaitor K has been in Akron all day, and Kaitor has the latest for us. Kaitor, good evening to you.
They just assume you armed. You know, they just assume that you're armed. Your face color tells them you armed. This is what I'm feeling already, just based off of the stuff that I'm seeing, that I seen on Facebook. If this cop was already involved, and they said something about him using his own personal weapon, and it might have been a rifle or something. This guy walking around like he is in a war. I'm gonna have to screenshot this picture. Shout out to Joe. Welcome in.
3 body camera videos and 1 dash cam angle. And the first 30 seconds of all of the body camera video have no audio. And that they say that is because when they turn on their cameras, the units need time to buffer. You can see an officer running and lifting his gun during those 30 seconds. And by the time the audio turns on, you see multiple officers move in on Jazmir Tucker, yelling at him.
Put your arms out. Suspect, put your hands out to your side. Stay on him. Suspect, put your hands out to your side. Have that cruiser pushed out.
This all happened on Thanksgiving night around 11 o'clock. Akron police says 2 officers were working on a report in their cruiser near East Avenue and Vernon Odom Boulevard when they heard gunshots. That's when they say they encountered Jazmir.
Oh, now I remember they heard gunshots, but I don't think it was him. It was somebody else. But let's listen.
With a loaded gun. He was taken to a nearby hospital where police say he died from his injuries. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation is investigating the case. Now, just moments ago, Jazmir's family held a press conference. They said that they're going to take some time to review the body cam video, all the videos that were released, and they will be holding another press conference tomorrow morning. But Jazmir's aunt did say that the family is devastated, and Russ will continue to update the story tonight at 11 and also at 7 o'clock tonight.
All right.
Okay, so we definitely got to find out what, some of the details of the case. So let's see. This article is coming from Daily Mail, and this is actually from December of 2024. Says newly released body cam show the police fatally unaliving 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker. Tucker was shot on the night of the holiday around 11 p.m. after Akron police officers heard gunfire from their cruiser and went to investigate. Now, I remember it being said that he was walking, I think, to one of his brother's house or somewhere. He was walking somewhere. And I don't think he had nothing to do with the shots that they heard. And just the part that we heard where they said that the weapon was zipped in his jacket. How did they know he had it if it was zipped in his jacket? And then they didn't bother to render aid. So it's the same things that we hear over and over. Just a new case, new face. Same actors. It's ridiculous. Well, from the same team, I should say. Hold on. Let's see where we're going with this one.
All right. Kaitor K in Akron. Thank you.
Tonight here at home, the city of Akron is set to release body cam video from officers involved in the deadly Thanksgiving night shooting of a teenage boy. Akron police shot and killed 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker, who police believe had a gun. Kaitor K is live at the Akron Police Department with the latest on the...
Oh, shoot. Now, is this a different video with or do I have to? This is the same guy. I'm going to go to this one.
This morning, Akron city leaders are expected to hold a press conference following the release of police body cam video showing the shooting death of 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker.
Candace Hare joins us now live from Akron. And Candace, what did you see in the footage?
Good morning, Danita and Dave. So you may recall this happened 1 week ago, and at the time, police told us that 2 officers were writing up a report related to an unrelated incident when they heard shots fired in the area. It was shortly thereafter that police say that they came in contact with Tucker, who they tell us had a loaded gun. Now, I do want to warn you that some of the video we're about to show you, which picks up right after that moment, is a bit difficult to watch.
Put your hands out to your side. Put your hands.
Now, the thing that really, the thing that bothers me with this off the rip, they heard shots and then just automatically assumed it was him. They treated him as if it was him. Okay, and so it says officers spotted a teen and began pursuing him on foot. Body cam footage showed. This video showed an officer who is about a 5-year veteran and was not identified, firing several rounds from his personal rifle, striking Tucker. Akron Police Department does allow its officers to use their personal weapons like rifles on the job. What? Wow. And the one used to unalive Tucker was owned by the officer, according to Akron Beacon Journey. So the majority of the rifles are not department issued. Akron Police Chief Brian Harding said at a press conference, "We have some. The majority of the officers purchase them themselves, but they have to qualify with them. They have to qualify with them with us. They go through training with those as well. Put your hands out to your side." One of them screamed, "Put your hands." While they waited for him to comply, the firing officer, who is currently on paid leave, told his coworker he was reaching with his right hand. See what I'm saying? He needs someone to check the parking lot behind us. That's where he was shooting. And see, they automatically said he. They didn't know if that was him or not. And I don't even know the story yet, but he said he was reaching with his right hand. We need someone to check the parking lot behind us. That's where he was shooting. Did you see him doing that, or did you just assume? He heard gunshots and automatically he seen a black boy, man, or whatever he thought he was, and just automatically he was guilty. Other officers then arrived on the scene and moved as a unit towards the teenager who was lying on the ground. So it was he already fired at him. Like, man, let me just let this play. This is pissing me off already. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Hands up.
Now, Akron police released dash cam footage and body cam from 3 different officers, and it shows officers using rifles and not handguns. And you can hear officers order Tucker to put his hands at his side for
Why
several
did they
minutes
need a damn rifle? Why?
after the shooting. Now, the footage shows several minutes pass between when it appears Tucker was shot and when officers begin to render aid. We do see in the video police retrieve a gun from Tucker's jacket pocket, but throughout the video, there's a bright light partially obscuring the footage, and Tucker's family says the video does not give them any answers.
He was always laughing. Everybody loved Jazz, and Jazz loved everyone else.
Now, there is going to be an internal investigation into this incident in addition to the investigation being conducted by Ohio BCI. New this morning, Akron Mayor Shamus Malik, he says that part of that internal investigation is going to be looking into whether or not police not immediately activating their body cameras was in violation of the department's policy.
Man, get out. Why do they have to look to see if it's in violation of a policy? You should automatically be. Enough of that. Let's get to this. They already been fired at him. Now, this may be triggering to some. This is a crime channel, and
parked
we
and sitting
crime.
Inside their marked police.
This is a crime channel, and we report crime. It is not meant to trigger anybody or, cause any stress. But this is reality, and this is what happened. We want to find out what's going on with Jazmir Tucker and why he's no longer here with his family. Shout out to BFF. Shout out to Natasha Turk. Welcome in, y'all. Oh, my God. Hold on. This may be triggering to some. So this is for news reporting, documentary purposes. Cause the action, we share those. And it is not meant to trigger anyone. But if you are under 18, you shouldn't be here anyway.
Cruiser at East Avenue and Vernon Odom Boulevard, working on a report from a prior unrelated call. At 11 p.m., officers called over the radio with an emergency after hearing gunshots fired near.
So on the scene at 10:39, the incident time was 11. And what time was Jalen fired upon? How long? From 11 to what? Why they ain't put that?
They exited their cruiser to investigate. Moments later, they encountered an individual in the 1000 block of East Avenue. The body-worn camera footage shows the officers pursuing the individual on foot. Seconds later, one officer discharges his firearm. Body-worn cameras do not provide a 360-degree or three-dimensional view. We will now play 3 body-worn camera videos and 1 in-car video.
I think it's dumb that it has a delay with the audio, period. Like, it should just be on automatic. They shouldn't even have a choice. 11:28, 11 o'clock. 50-some seconds. Man, they got out aggressive as hell. Where was the shots really coming from? Audio for 30 seconds, no audio. Of course. That's so stupid. Hell, in 30 seconds, they probably already fired on him. Look, yeah, he already fired. That's what it looked like to me. What?
Stop moving! Put your hands out to your side!
Man,
Put your hands
come
up.
on, dude. Get the fuck out
Get
of here.
back online on me.
1 minute. Look.
On me.
It wasn't even what we had 11:01.
Put your hands out! Put your hands out! Hands out to side!
Are y'all gonna shoot again?
20 signals, 21. Hold on him.
Put your hands
Block
out to your
southbound
side. Hands out your
northbound
side.
traffic.
Is he standing there or is he shot? Which one is it?
Push out to the right. Nope. On me. Push out to the right. He was reaching right with his right hand.
Yeah, whatever. They already what?
Again, he was reaching with his right hand. We need someone to check the parking lot behind us. That's where he was shooting.
Okay. When did you guys
push to the right?
You ain't see him shooting.
Is there anybody else behind you?
Man,
Not
what?
that I seen.
I didn't see anybody in the parking lot coming out.
No. If it takes, so that mean they did this in less than 30 seconds. What was it? What was it? Because I mean, the 30-second delay, they had already fired, and it was still some silence after. This is just disgusting already. Like that, I see. These cops act like they got supervision. You see what I'm saying? They act like they got supervision. If he didn't have a weapon, I bet you they would have said he did.
The side.
Allegedly.
Push to the right. We need that backstop.
Put your hands out to the side.
Push to the right.
And then at this point, they don't know how old he is. How did they not know that he was a legal? He could have just been a legal gun carrier just walking. I mean, and that's what it sounded like. He was innocent. He wasn't the one that was firing or anything, but what the hell?
Again, he was reaching with his right hand.
Oh, shut
hands out
the
to your
hell
side,
up.
suspect. Right here.
Why
Stop
ain't
right
nobody
here.
else see that?
Put your hands out to your side.
Why do that just annoys the shit out of me? And y'all know how many times did they shoot this
Hey,
guy?
two of you break away. Go check that parking lot behind us for suspect for victims.
Can you break away? I got one person taking
No, stay with me.
Bunch of idiots.
Copy.
I see why the family said it didn't.
Hands out to your side.
Automatically guilty. Automatically. It was literally zipped in his jacket. Yep, he sure had one. Zipped in his damn jacket.
Out your side. Suspect, put your hands out to your side. Do it now. Keep giving them command one at a time. Hands out your side.
This is
Put
just
your
a
hands
way.
out.
I mean, what's the point in doing this if y'all know he down and shot? What's the point? Ain't nobody helping him. What is this? Just a way to not render aid?
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
This is just, man.
Stay on him.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
Have that cruiser push south and block that traffic.
Put your hands out your side.
Have someone block north at East Avenue.
Ain't heard a damn thing. Like,
suspect, put your hands.
Soon as they move that damn car, they should have activated their body cam footage. You didn't hear nothing.
Hands out to the side.
Stay on him. On it. Hey, get 2 people to check that parking lot. Right next to the building is where he was shooting.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side. Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
Does anybody have a shield?
What the hell are y'all scared of? All them goddamn guns.
Hey, can you? Oh, you have one.
Put your hands out your side.
15 years old.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side. Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
Is this how they train? Is this how they really train? The man is not the child. He's 15. He's not moving. Go check on him. Big ass
hands out to your sides. Do it now.
Keep giving commands.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
You're an idiot.
Put your hands out to your side.
Oh, it's pissing me off. Let me see.
Get your hands out your side.
Woo.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
I cannot with them. Let me read some more. I just cannot. Hold on. Absolutely ridiculous to act that fast. You would think it was in his damn hand. What prompted it? So what prompted him? Oh, he's reaching on the right. What? Why would he even reach? Why would he do anything like that? I don't believe this dude. They make shit up as they go. In my opinion. Allegedly. Anyway, let me put you. We hear all that while they wait for him to comply. The officer sitting up there talking about he reached his hand to the right. We need someone to go check the parking lot. Okay. So then other officers arrived on the scene and moved as a unit towards the teenager who was lying on the ground. As they handcuffed him, they discovered a gun and extended the clip tucked into his winter coat pocket. Officers then began rendering aid after he done laid there for 10 damn minutes while they too damn scared to walk over and see what's going on, allegedly. So officers began rendering aid while they waited for EMS to arrive, who transported Tucker to the hospital where they didn't do a damn thing. Probably in that ambulance. Oh, he's gone. They sit there and do all that to ensure that they be gone. So the mayor, Malik, criticizes the force. The mayor, Malik, criticized the force's delay in rendering aid to the team, saying in a statement, in hindsight, the amount of time that expired between the shooting and the initiation of the physical aid of Jazmir is deeply troubling to me. I want to be clear that any unreasonable delay in the rendering of aid by police officers is unacceptable and has no place in Akron. Malik also questioned why there was a delay in turning on the body cam and said they will be reviewing if this broke policy. Listen, if soon as they start pursuit, before they get out of the vehicle, those cameras should be activated. If you're going on a pursuit, cut on the damn camera. All you got to do is hit a button. But you know why they don't? So all this can be confusing. That's why. His family remembered the teen as always laughing at someone who loved to do yard work during a press conference. Everyone loved Jazz and Jazz loved everyone. That was his great Aunt Connie Sutton. And our family is devastated. Let's try to get through this. It's pissing me off.
side. Get your hands up to your side.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, let's get some cover.
Yep.
This guy has a firearm. Let's get some cover. You got numbers?
Yep, pull back. Just push to the right. Hold on. Stop. You guys can break off. Swing to the right. Yep. We got rifle.
They so weak. All them guns and they scared to walk over there. What they think he playing dead and he's gonna wake up? He gonna jump up and shoot him? What y'all think?
Keep pushing.
Oh. Exactly.
You got a, looks like the firearm right hip. It's right hip next to the white.
Step. Come behind the cruiser up.
Crazy,
Come over. Yep, there you go. Keep pushing.
You got a second shield yet?
I have one at my cruiser, but it's over at Metro.
I guess. I question if they even train properly. For real. And they don't do nothing but piss me off when they be like, oh, we need more police training. No, you don't. You can't train an asshole not to be racist. It's in their blood.
West of the school.
That's why they joined the force, so they can shoot as many black people as they can, allegedly. They didn't give him a chance. Automatically, he was guilty just because they heard some gunshots.
We're still waiting on another shield.
And seen somebody black walking.
The other shield up here.
Now I want to know if they proved did he fire that
Who
weapon?
else has a rifle?
Was it him?
All right, you want to get online with me?
That's what I want to know.
We get shields. Where's the other shield at?
I think he's behind you.
I'ma assume no. That's what I'm gonna
Let's go hands to cuff. You got gloves on? Yep. Get gloves.
Grab one more for hands.
And let's get two. You have two for hands.
Secure that right hand first. That's the hand he's reaching with.
There's a black officer
right reaching with. Is he gonna reach again? Dummy, put your weapon down. He's gone. Shit.
Let me know if you guys got two hands. We got 3 shields. 3 shields. All right.
That's why I can't report this.
You want rifles to hold or push with? Go down.
Black is his charge. Being black is his charge. And they still telling him that?
Put your hands out to the side.
Really?
You got additional hands.
What?
I'm on the right.
Yep.
Push up.
Go.
Exactly. That's what's always pissing me off, man.
Hold on, secure his hands first.
I'm telling you, the way they do things. And they handcuff him. What's the fucking point?
Something right here. Yep. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
Done. Yep.
And? Yeah.
You gotta keep on giving aid. You got EMS.
What's your point? It was zipped up. We know he didn't zip it after. Now watch they try to say something like that. Well, that's what he was reaching, and he must have put the weapon in there and zipped it up. Hell, I would have ran too. And he could have just been running just because he knew he had the weapon. It didn't mean that he fired it. I cannot wait to find out what's going on with this, if we can get the truth. You know what I'm saying? What prompted him to do that? He reaching. Get out of here, man. Did you see a weapon? They should have to see a damn weapon for them to fire like that. Get out of here. Because he reached. He could have been thinking something was falling out of his pocket. He could have been reaching for a cell phone to call his mama or call 911 on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
And the point.
Hands up the side. 21. Hold on. Put your hands out to your side. Hands out to the side.
I cannot.
Push out to the right.
I'm not.
Hands out to your side. Do it now. He's on his way. 45 seconds.
I'm not about to keep watching the same thing.
You're online.
Looks like the firearm is right there on his right.
Yep.
Yep, I'm behind. Good. We got killed. Yep, behind you.
Let's see if we see anything different from this angle.
I want to back to the 48 is on his way. 45 seconds. We'll wait for another field and take a line up.
Jason, why don't you go to the block party? I would never fucking be a cop. Why would I do that? Stupid. Why don't you go lick they boot and get the fuck out of my chest?
Oh, we got another
so
shield.
Mad.
Who else has a rifle?
I do.
Want to go around and get a rifle? The other shield. I think he's trying right now. Get another shield. We're going home to the top. You got gloves on?
Yep, good glove.
Grab one more for hands.
And look at two. You have two for hands.
Secure that right hand first. That's the hand he's reaching with. Then block off his leg. Let me know when you guys got two hands. We got 3 shields. 3 shields. All right. You want me to hold? You want rifle to hold or push with? Get out, get out.
I guess I said it, Sophie. Boy, I'm pissed. He's really getting me emotional. You don't.
Secure his hands first. Secure his hands first. Something right here.
What they call him off for? Wait a minute. What was that about? That was weird. Why did he call that cop off? I'm really confused with that. Hold on. What was that? Seriously. Why did he call him off? Interesting. Very interesting.
Gotta keep on giving that. Yep. Got a gun. Right back, kid.
What's that?
We got a med kit. Gun.
Gun. What's that?
Put it down. Put it down.
Don't flag yourself.
Yep, just leave it.
Look, they was happy. Yep, he got a gun. So we gonna get away with this one, boys. Even though it was zipped up. I'm not watching this again. I'm just not. So they gonna show us every angle, every camera that was out there. And we
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
Wait, or is this the one we can really actually
Get your hands out.
Wait. We seen them running. You know what I'm saying? That running. See, there used to be a time where suspects could run and they would chase. They don't want to chase no more, so they just shoot. That's what they do. Seriously.
Put your hands out to your side.
Put your hands.
Bunch of damn idiots.
Feel that.
Including Jason's dumbass. Was that his name?
I got hands. Go down, boy. Yep. Akron Police Department.
Yep, that was his name. He at the block party.
Something is right here. Yep. I'm not sure what it is.
So he said he was reaching on his right hand with the right hand, and there's something in his right pocket.
Gun. No.
Was it even together?
Flashlight.
It ain't together. It ain't together.
Yeah, keep on giving me. Yep. Got a gun. Got a no.
Wait, what was that other shit?
Got a gun. Put it down. Put it down.
Flag yourself.
Wait, that magazine was out.
Gonna search for them. Make sure there's no secondary weapon.
It was in the bottom. I don't think he was the one out there firing. What's all that stuff in his pocket? They got his pants pulled all the way down. God, dang, maybe
Remember,
they was
search
already...
for weapons. No weapons this time. Okay. Jacket. Under jacket. Use second jacket.
Why don't they have him covered up? Oh.
I got shoes. Right here. I got shoes.
The hell? They ain't rendering no type of aid. All they trying to do is find weapons on them. Who helping them? Anybody? Not a goddamn soul. I cannot.
EMS is here.
What? What the hell? What is he doing? I get
The officer involved is nearly a 5-year veteran of the Akron Police Department. Per departmental procedure, the officer involved has been placed on paid administrative leave. The investigation will be conducted by the State of Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation. After the investigation is completed, the case will be turned over to the Ohio Attorney General's office for review before being submitted to the Summit County Grand Jury for evaluation. The entire investigation will be posted on the Ohio Attorney General's office website upon final disposition. A separate internal investigation will be conducted by the Akron Police Office of Professional Standards and Accountability. The results of their investigation will be provided to the police chief and the City of Akron police auditor for their review.
Hold on, yeah.
Civil rights activists are speaking out tonight.
There is
Civil rights activists are
right up the street at City Hall. We just heard them yelling for the 15-year-old that was gunned down. Hope you could. It's hard to hear. Do you remember his name? No, but it was a female gunned down.
The hell are they talking about? Let me let this play.
speaking out tonight about new police body camera video showing the final moments of an Akron teenager's life. On Thanksgiving night, 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker was believed to be walking to his older brother's home when he was shot and killed by city police. Police say a couple officers heard gunshots. Then they encountered Tucker close by with a loaded gun. One of the officers shot him. After seeing the body camera footage, though, just released tonight, a local civil rights leader has a lot of questions.
What I did not see was a young man, a 15-year-old with a gun. How many times do people have to get shot like this for us to see that there's a culture in the police department?
We took the video to an expert for analysis, so we get to News 5's Kaylee Olivas in Akron for that perspective.
Thanksgiving night, Akron police shot a 15-year-old boy right here next to Miller South School. I'm Kaylee Olivas here in Akron, while police have just released body camera footage showing us that very shooting. There's still so much we can't hear or see. A cold and snowy Thursday night. Akron police say a pair of patrol officers were parked at East Avenue and Vernon Odom Boulevard when they heard gunshots nearby. Newly released body camera footage shows a 5-year veteran officer quickly running to the west field of Miller South School. There's zero audio in the first 30 seconds.
Well, what's interesting is the officer gets out of the cruiser, and it really isn't that much time after he gets out.
Of course not.
That he
Never
does
is.
fire his rifle at the suspect. And one of the things that we need to understand is when he got out and was starting to approach the suspect, and then when he fired, there has to be some very important visual of that officer.
But it's unclear from the video what this officer sees. What is evident is he shot Jazmir multiple times.
Multiple times.
The alleged reason for shots fired?
You got a, looks like the firearm was right here.
But the footage shows a 6.5-minute delay with no visual of a gun during that time period.
Suspect, put your hands out to your side.
Yeah, they are.
It's also filled with commands from police for Jazmir to
They ain't
show
even
his
seen
hands.
no damn
And with
gun.
seemingly no movement,
They
as
shot
noted
him
by one
dead.
officer talking to dispatch, a group of Akron police finally pushed forward to make physical contact with Jazmir.
That can be because they're non-compliant, or it can be because they have serious injuries. So the officers were trying to get compliance. I believe that if
This is, why do you expect him to comply after you done shot him multiple times with that big ass gun? At what point do they need to shut the hell up with the complying and go help the person if you want to? Like they don't. Like they know good and well they don't want to help him. That's why they do it. If they wasn't trying to take him out, he wouldn't have grabbed the biggest weapon that he had, and he would have just fired one shot. But no, they go for the kill because that's what they want to do. Period. On purpose, and it has nothing to do with training. They see black and they shoot.
the subject was or able or did extend his hands, the officers would have immediately approached him.
When approached, aid does not look to be immediately rendered. Instead, Jazmir's pockets are sorted through. Akron's mayor saying, quote, "In hindsight, the amount of time that expired between the shooting and the initiation of physical aid to Jazmir is deeply troubling to me."
I'm not sure what it is.
See that?
No, there was a firearm recovered at the scene.
Did you hear him immediately said gun? Didn't know. And then they kept digging and they found it. I'ma say, like, you cannot run from the police. Like, you can't. But I bet you he ran because he had the weapon. But that don't mean that he fired it. He knew that he had it, so he ran. You can't run from them no more. They gonna find a reason to shoot you. Period. You can't. Now, I want them to tell us, had the gun been fired? That's what we want to know. At this time, at this moment, y'all, they don't see they didn't see no weapon. He just fired on them, talking about he was reaching. At this moment, they don't know how old he is. They don't know if he a legal gun carrier or not. This is troubling. Yeah, he shouldn't have ran. He shouldn't have had the weapon either, but maybe he just had it for protection because he's walking to his brother's house. He just had it for protection. No, he shouldn't have had it. He shouldn't have ran. But did they see a weapon? Did he fire the weapon? Those are very important questions because they didn't know that he had that weapon when they did what they did. They didn't, regardless to what they found once he was down.
In which at least tells us this subject probably
he was so damn happy he found the gun.
Which at least tells us this subject.
Wait, before he say that, watch.
No, there.
See, immediately he was waiting to see one. He just assumed automatically because he black that he had a weapon. Period. And he guessed the right because, most people are right hand. He's reaching for the right and he was right. But did you know what was behind that zipper, sir? No, he didn't.
There was a firearm recovered at the scene, which at least tells us this subject probably could have been involved in the shots fired that the officers may have heard and or may have been reported through their dispatch service. So the other question comes up, did he...
It sound like and look like and facts that they escalated that situation. They heard shots fired and they came and killed someone. Oh, that solved it all, didn't it? They saved the world.
Fire the gun, saw the officers approaching, and did he hide the gun in his pocket? So once again, we're going to need more details from all the officers.
The city confirms 2 shell casings were recovered near Miller South School, and those will be tested to see if it matches the gun found in Jazmir's pocket.
We got to make it. Gun. Put it down.
The end of the body camera footage shows officers continuing to peel back Jazmir's jackets. While he's blurred, it's clear there are gunshot wounds to the left side of his person. He was taken to a nearby hospital, where he later died. The officer involved is on paid administrative leave.
The video just doesn't show all the facts. It shows parts of the facts.
And they didn't know the facts when they fired on them. They didn't.
Akron police chief echoing that, saying in part, quote, "The independent investigation is in its early stages, and there is much we still don't know about what occurred." The NAACP Akron chapter president says from what she sees, though, the killing of Jazmir is nowhere near justifiable.
A 15-year-old or anyone is no match for a gun, especially if you don't see a gun in a possession. And based on what I saw in that video, I did not see a gun in the hands of that young person.
As for Jazmir's family, they're still processing his death, wondering how they're supposed to move forward without him.
Our family's just devastated, and we're just hoping for prayers, looking for prayers.
Well, the family of Jazmir Tucker, along with their attorneys, will hold a second press conference Friday morning at 11 here in Akron. Of course, we'll continue to follow through. For News 5, I'm Keely Olivas.
I don't know which one this one is. Maybe after. That boy looked just like him.
Morning, everybody. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Good morning. This is Jazmir Tucker. His family and friends called him Jazz. And last Thursday, while many of us were celebrating with our families, spending time with loved ones, Jazmir was shot and killed by Akron police. He's dead and he doesn't have to be. Now, I'd like to introduce to my right, Jazmir's mother, Ashley Green, and also to my right, his great aunt, Connie Sutton. My name is Robert Gresham with the Cochran Firm. I'm here with Stanley Jackson, also with the Cochran Firm. We'll be representing the family along with our partners, Michael Wright and Sean William in this case. Now, while I'm here as an attorney, I can't help but separate myself from being a father, because it puts me in the place where this family is of losing a child. No parent should ever have to bury a child. No parent should ever have to outlive their child, especially when it's unavoidable. Excuse me, especially when it's avoidable. And what can't be lost here is Jazz, he was a child. He's 15 years old. He had his whole life ahead of him. Now, last night, the city of Akron finally released the body camera footage, which they are legally obligated to do so at the last minute. Now,
We smack the thumbs up, yeah.
And answers, as we often are in these cases. But a number of things are disturbing and stand out. First thing is, these officers clearly engaged Jazz with aggressive intent.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we know that? Because of the use of assault rifles. And
period.
I appreciate the mayor's statement with respect to the shooting and the addressing of that particular aspect of this case, because unfortunately, this is the culture of Akron police in the city. And I guess we shouldn't be surprised by this culture because the city just got finished experiencing a case in the Jalen Walker case where 8 officers were exonerated by the police department and released back into the public.
Wow.
So we can't be surprised that we're now here after that aggression has now resulted in the loss of a young man's life.
So I'm trying to find a post that I seen on Facebook that says that the guy that did this is the same guy that was involved in that.
The Akron Police Department had a total disregard for the humanity of Jazz. They failed to provide timely aid, which is in direct violation of their own use of force policy. Their own use of force policy says that the preservation of human life is of the highest value.
Not to them.
That's what their policy says.
Please.
That's what they say is one of their principles.
That's
part of our investigation will be aimed at addressing a number of these questions and more. Now, there's a problem with Akron PD. And like I said, we appreciate the mayor's statements and comments, but respectfully, this family wants results. We want accountability, and we want them to deal with the consequences of their actions for the officers involved. This city failed to hold officers accountable in the Walker case, and now we're here. These two things they're not unrelated. What the city has done historically matters, and what the city has done historically has resulted in where we are today. Driving around, hopping out of cruisers with assault rifles and gunning down 15-year-olds is not protecting and serving. And that's what police are here for, supposedly, to protect and serve. This family's devastated. And it's forever changed. And no parent, like I said, or family member should ever have to recover from losing a child. So that as their attorneys, we will continue to fight for this family. We will seek truth and we will find justice. And we would ask that the community support this family. As far as next steps, which I know is usually a question. This family seeks full transparency and cooperation from the city of Akron in response to the family's questions and requests for information. The mayor has put out a statement indicating he wants answers to those questions. Well, this family does too. So what we don't want to happen in this case is what happens in these cases traditionally, is the city standing in the way of getting the answers to those questions via public records requests. So Mayor, if you're standing by your statements, lead this city in giving this family answers. This family wants to push for a full criminal investigation and charges if and where warranted. And finally, a full audit and review of Akron Police Department practices and procedures. And candidly, that's just the beginning. And at this time, like I said, we would ask that everyone support this family, keep them in your thoughts, and help them continue to support this fight for justice for Jazz. This time I'm gonna pass the stage to my co-counsel, Stanley Jackson, and he'll fill in the rest of the case.
So you guys know Jazz was a young 15-year-old boy with his whole life ahead of him. Ashley Green, his mother, loved him. He loved his mother. He loved his family. His family's here with him. On the night that he died, he spent his time with his family, doing things that 15-year-old kids do. Love eating food, hanging out, playing games. He should not have had to die like this. It's only because the Akron Police Department and the mayor did nothing after Mike Jones' death, after Jalen Walker's death. They knew that they had an issue with their police department. They knew they needed training. We can go back to prior statements on October 21st that the mayor made that they needed training. And because they didn't do so, Jazz lost his life. Assault rifles. When is it appropriate to have assault rifles chasing 15-year-old kids walking to his brother's house that night?
That's crazy.
His brother had to witness, his older brother had to witness and hear his younger brother shot and killed. Jazz was trying out for the basketball team, ready to play at Akron North, had his whole life ahead of him. This is a tragedy. This lays at the mayor's feet. Don't ask questions that you should already have answers to. Don't front stage and ask questions to things that you have the power to change. You should have done so. And we are here. And Jazz's death is on the mayor's hands. Don't ask questions about something that you have the power to change. You know that your police department is in shambles. You know that the DOJ needs to be investigating your police department. You know that you should be at this point under a consent decree prior to Jazz's death. We're going to do everything that we can, and we're going to investigate this ourselves, as the Cochran firm normally does. As you very well know, we're a civil rights firm started by Johnny L. Cochran. We will make sure that this family gets the answers they deserve. And as my co-counsel said before, we shouldn't have to wait for those answers. We shouldn't have to wait for those answers. If you're going to be transparent and you're going to hold press conferences and try to answer questions, or at least be available, you need to answer questions to this family immediately.
God, get the camera out the woman's face.
We shouldn't be here. You know we shouldn't be here. Everyone in the family and the community is hurt. This is unacceptable. Officer Fields should have not been out there. We know, we've done our research. We know that Officer Fields was involved in a shooting 2 years prior. We know that he didn't, or any of the other officers didn't render aid for 10 minutes. You watch the video. That's an eternity. This young man's life.
Wow.
Mattered.
So it's true.
These officers.
Y'all just heard him, like, and that's what I'm looking at right here on Facebook. Somebody had posted, they said, so Akron police never released the names of the 8 officers that were involved in Jalen Walker's murder, but below is proof that one of the officers in is Davon Field, the same officer that killed 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker. He killed again, and justice needs to be served. That's why he joined the damn police force, allegedly. And how long he been on the force? 5 years? Hold on. Okay, let me hit play.
And the police department and the mayor are a complete failure. A complete failure to us, the citizens, to the community, and to their own profession. At this time, Ms. Sutton will tell you a little bit more about her nephew.
So they posted actually some paperwork from when Jalen Walker, I believe was his name. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, this is paperwork from 2022, and it says on Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 at 10:53 hours, Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, so BCI, Special Agent S.A. Corey somebody and S.A. Joseph Gowdy interviewed Akron Police Department. Officer Davon Fields, who was accompanied by his attorney. That is the one that was involved in this one. What I'm reading is about a whole nother person in 2022. So Officer Field, the interview was audio and video. Officer Field was identified as one of the police who witnessed and or had some level of involvement in the June 27, 2022 officer-involved shooting, which occurred in the area of 1659 South Main Street, Akron. Reportedly, Officer Field did not discharge a firearm during the course of the incident. Okay. The purpose of the interview was to obtain all relevant information of the incident known or observed by the officer. So Officer Field stated his radio call sign on June 27, 2023 was car 8. Hold on. So they just said that he didn't fire his weapon during this one, allegedly. Okay, so it says Officer Field stated his radio call sign on June 27, 2022 was car 8. Officer Field had been an officer for approximately 3 years then. So that was in 2022, so 5 years now. So 3 years involved in this. So all with the APT. Officer Fields wore his standard police uniform. He also wore an external ballistic vest and a duty belt. Officer Field was the driver of car 8. Okay, I can't read all that. That's a whole nother case. But the point is, he was involved in one, and they saying that he didn't fire. I don't know how many cops fired with this one. Was it just the one that fired? I'm not sure.
She loved him. She shared time with him.
Before we do that, I failed to introduce the rest of the family. Just generally, we have a number of his family members, cousins, grandma, siblings, his twin brother. Amir is up here as well.
Oh, his twin.
As you can see, this has impacted this family.
God dang, no wonder. I was like, he looked just like him. But I want, oh my gosh.
I just wanted to make sure I made that introduction. So,
poor
Jazz
baby.
was
I
the
know
sweetest person you ever wanted to meet.
Feel the pain.
He was always there whenever any of us called him. And when he finished with what he was done with, he'd always ask every single time, is there anything else you need me to do? And it's just a great loss. Jazz was my sweetheart. He was with us at my house always from the time he was a baby. And there was nothing he wouldn't do for anybody. And I miss him.
Miss Ashley Green, Jazz's mother, she's here today. It takes a lot of strength to be here, losing your child on a day that's supposed to, on Thanksgiving. And she's going to remain strong, but she wants you guys to know, and she's going to speak to you in a moment about her beloved Jazz with onesie.
Thank you. This morning was really hard for me, but I looked outside and Amir's shoveling the snow by himself, which normally, like this time of year snow, Amir and Jazmir, they would be the first ones up, making sure that we could get outside to our cars. They would clean them, start them up, everything for us.
His funeral was today, y'all.
We didn't even have to ask. It was like he already knew, what we needed, and he was there for us. Just kind, loving, funny kid. And I'm gonna miss him, and we want answers. I love him, and his brother. Pray for Amir.
at this time, we'll accept questions. Obviously, some legal questions we prefer you direct towards the attorneys, and we can ask questions and if they're willing to answer.
First, could we just have the spelling, Ashley, your name?
My name? A-S-H-L-E-Y.
Green?
Yes,
standard?
green, like the color, yes.
No E.
Correct. No E.
Looking at the incident, looking at the footage, I know that's extremely difficult. Probably, you want to do something while you're watching that, there's nothing you can do, you feel helpless. After watching that footage and just seeing how long it took for the officers to approach Jazz and render aid, it's got to be the hardest thing about the whole thing. From a mother's perspective, what are your thoughts on that? How stricken are you by that?
Extremely hurt that I couldn't help my baby. It hurt me to see that no one helped my baby.
Do you think that that's the biggest failure in this whole incident right there? Obviously, there's many layers to this, but what do you see as the biggest failure in this by the police department?
I'll speak to that. There are a number of failures here with respect to the Akron Police Department. And the biggest failure, as Attorney Jackson indicated earlier, is that this city and this mayor did nothing to appropriately address these issues before we got here. In this specific case, from what we've seen in the body-worn camera footage, sure, yes, absolutely, the failure to render aid is something that should have been done in this case. It's in their policy. That's also in the use of force policy. There were a number of tactical issues in this particular case. The police department did a number of things tactically wrong in this case, starting with the aggressiveness that they initiated this pursuit with. These officers came out with the intent to do one thing: shoot and kill. And that's evidenced by the assault rifle they used, and that's problematic. Now, unfortunately, you guys have seen the footage. At this time, it's hard to determine what exactly occurred before the shooting, but part of our investigation will include addressing that footage. We will take a look at it, and in the event that we have additional information, we will certainly make that available. But there are a number of issues here. But what I perceive to be the biggest issue here is there's a culture of violence in this particular police department. There's an issue here. There's a problem here, and this police department needs to be addressed. It needs to be reviewed, and things need to change yesterday.
To add to that really quickly, the mayor and the police department weaponize the police by allowing them to carry assault rifles, right? And then the police department weaponizes Jazz's skin in his youth.
Period.
That's the problem.
Period.
You give someone a high-powered rifle, and then they're not properly trained, and there's a culture to assault and kill Black males. That's the tragedy.
Sorry.
I don't give a damn what nobody say. automatically.
We were all at my grandmother's house. Jazz was with me. We were over there laughing, having a good time, eating, like we normally do, like everybody normally does on Thanksgiving, just with our family, having a good time.
Now, obviously, when something like this happens, you get thrust into the media spotlight.
Thanksgiving Day.
Will you talk about what you want the biggest takeaway to be from this story and Jazmir's life?
Jazmir was a great kid. He was still a baby. He was loved by everybody, and we're always going to remember him and the great things he did for everybody, and we're always going to miss him.
I would like to know, was he troubled? Was he in and out of trouble at all?
And representing this family, Jazz's presence can be felt. You can still feel it. What was left behind, but the love that this family still has for him, who he was as a young man, young boy, soon to be a young man.
God, that gotta be
The jack
hard,
of all trades,
man.
it sounds like. Did a lot of different things, did more things than.
I mean, they must have been identical. I'm not sure, but instantly I'm like, wait a minute, he look a lot like him. But then again, you know, the mother, they look like the mother, from what I'm seeing. And then, I mean, they haven't said like that. The way that they're describing him don't sound like he's one of those bad kids that's been in and out. But why did he have a weapon, and what exactly was he going to do? And I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not saying that he deserved this at all, because the cops didn't know that he had a weapon. They absolutely did not know. They absolutely did not see it. So that lets you know this could have been anybody. We gotta think about what they did not know at the time. And they did not know if all they heard was some gunshots. That's it. Then they seen somebody black walking, and they instantly accused him of doing it. And the guy said it right there on the camera. Over there, look behind the school where he was shooting. What evidence do you have that he was the one doing that? Could it have been somebody else? I can't wait till the rest of the ballistics come back. You know, if we can believe any damn thing. It's sad that it's like that. It is.
A lot of grown men I know do.
But in my defense, I done seen a lot of corruption reporting news for the past 4 years. I've seen tests get changed and all kind of stuff. The people that we are supposed to trust, you know. So, what do you do?
He had a bright future ahead of himself. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the ability to achieve that future now because of the Akron Police Department.
I'm sorry for your guys' loss as well. I know you had mentioned some details about how he was walking to his brother's house and leading up to the shooting. Is there anything else that you can share about that?
No, there's no additional details at this time. If there's additional details, I'm sure those will come out, but that's the information that's available now.
You mentioned that, hi, my name is Kimberly Spectrum News. I'm very sorry for the loss.
Thank you.
So his services was today. Let me see. So this article is coming from Akron Beacon Journal. And it's dated today. A slideshow during the funeral services of Jazmir Tucker at the Remedy Church in Akron on Friday, December 13th, 2024. Hold on. So there was is that the one? Oh, right here. It says Amir Tucker, 15, sits in front of the closed casket of his twin brother, Jazmir Tucker, during his funeral at the Remedy Oak. And they just said, that is so sad, man. I mean, where's the story? They just I guess they just got different pictures. So I'll read. Let's see. I only screenshot a couple. This was the obituary. This is his brother standing there. Let's see. Let me see what they got. This is devastating, man. Thanksgiving will never be the same. It'll always be sad. And it makes me think, like, every time holidays come around, I actually feel sad for people that don't have their loved ones that feel sad because of the holidays. So it says a mere 15. It just says that he was the pallbearer of the following his brother's funeral services. Mm-mm-mm.
That his brother either heard or witnessed the shooting. Is he willing to talk about that?
I believe it's his brother that's here. I mean, his older brother that's not present.
This is a difficult question to ask, and forgive me in advance, but Jazz had a weapon on him. I have to ask, was that something he carried regularly for protection due to the violence in Akron, or are there any details of why he had that gun and whose gun that was?
Yeah, we won't speak to that necessarily, because what's important here is that by all accounts and the evidence we have before us, these officers had no idea he had a weapon on him based on where they found it. So from our perspective and from a legal perspective, at this time, considering the officers don't appear to have known about it, it's not relevant to what's going on here. So that's all we'll say to address that particular question.
Point, yeah.
Have you heard anything from the police department about the shell casings that they had found and if that had matched the gun that he had on him?
Yeah, well, if they will respond to our public records request and give us the findings of their investigation, we'll probably have answers to those questions. But we are conducting our own investigation to get answers to all those questions.
That's ridiculous.
We would ask for you also to lean on the city to get that information as well. Because like I said, oftentimes in these cases, the city stands in the way of the information and the truth.
See, all of this damn stalling and stuff, ain't no reason why they shouldn't have that information, especially by now, because what is it? Like the longer you stall, the more time you got to doctor stuff up. Hey, let's be honest, like it's a lot of crooked stuff going on that we've been witnessing.
Oftentimes is the way for us to get those answers.
All this stalling.
So some of that is a responsibility as well. Help this family get answers, and we'll do everything we can as well.
What's up with the
Let's be frank. Jalen Walker, Mike Jones, passed, community, gave support. Mayor did nothing in response. We can't do the same things we did before and expect a different result. So we need you guys in the community to be vigilant and relentless in getting information, as we will be, but also results, meaning a swift prosecution and or investigation in these officers. Swift, immediate accountability, right? So that we're not here with another family. Jazz, when we ask that question, Jazz is my son, your nephew, your brother, a 15-year-old kid.
Forgive me for not knowing this. Has he already been laid to rest? Has he already had a funeral? Is that something that is coming up?
It's coming up, and we will let you guys know on the particulars of that. But he has not been laid to rest yet.
You've spoken a little bit about what type of kid that he was. And I'm curious, have he started to develop any ambitions for adulthood? What direction did he want his life to go as he grew up as an adult?
Just basketball. He loved doing everything for everybody, spending time with his younger siblings, nephews, but go to college and play basketball. And he was just very hands-on. He liked to do anything to try to fix anything, work on a car, at 15 years old.
Imagine a young kid in Akron aspiring to be a basketball player, change the world. LeBron James. He made it out. Jazz did.
I know you were waiting for the public records request, of course, but just from your perspective, when police showed up to your door, or however you found out this news, was there anything that they said to you in terms of like any details at all that you're able to share with us?
No, they didn't. The police never addressed us.
Wow.
I had to find out that was my son through social media.
Oh my God. Why is this shit, man?
2 hospitals didn't get any type of help, assistance. They forwarded me to the next person. And even the Akron Police Department, I was on hold. They asked me questions about him. But no one ever came to me. I came to them.
Typical.
I asked about the number of times he was
Wow.
shot. The audio was not working, obviously, and I'm just visually counting on the body camera. I believe it was 7, perhaps 8, somewhere around that. Based on the autopsy that you guys perhaps have seen, do you know how many times he was hit?
We're waiting on the official autopsy findings, but it's in multiple times.
And just looking at that, seeing that these rifle rounds are the ones that were fired, and again, back to the time to render aid. Are there any excuses that would justify that in your eyes?
No. What needs to be remembered here is that, I tried to point this out earlier, the police are here to serve the community. They're not an occupying force. This isn't a situation where police just come in and terrorize communities. Unfortunately, that's the reality of being Black in America and Black communities. But that's not what they're here for. They serve at the pleasure of the community, and they're here to serve and protect. And the use of an assault rifle in those circumstances is absolutely unacceptable.
It really is.
It tells you the intent of the officers.
It really is.
Of what they plan to do, what they intended to do at that time. It signals an intent for aggression.
A regular damn gun is enough.
With law enforcement in Akron, that's the problem with law enforcement in Ohio. And candidly, that's the problem with law enforcement across this country, especially when it comes to Black and brown people in this country.
I'm sick of this mess. Not okay.
Devastating. It was like I was watching somebody play Call of Duty.
Exactly. It's a game.
The same, because I know Jazz is not going to try and hurt anybody. That's not the type of person Jazz was. He was always there to help, not to try and hurt anybody.
To your question earlier, watch the video again. 10 minutes. They're within a few feet of him. He's not moving. That's intentional. 10 minutes. That means you have no regard for that young man's life.
None.
That means you don't see him as human. You don't see that you have the obligation, the human obligation, your oath as an officer to assist someone, to assist this young boy who was laying there that you shot. 10 minutes
far
is a
too
long
much.
time.
Steady talking
It's
about
agonizing
put your
that they had
hands
to
to your
watch
side.
it, right?
Hell.
But we see it again. I'm sure you can look through plenty of police cases throughout the country. 10 minutes might be the record. That's a very long time before you even attempt to render aid. And when they did touch him, they searched him after they cuffed him. They didn't try that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I seen.
When you talk about this,
Cuffs and search.
you kind of explained your biggest questions here, what you're trying
That's
to do.
disgusting.
Jen, we want to know what these officers knew, what they were responding to. We want the training records of these officers. We want the disciplinary records of these officers. Specifically, the officer who was allowed to utilize a personal assault rifle on the scene. And we want general, and there's a lot of the general information we want. We want the internal administrative findings, if those are conducted and completed within a timely basis. And we want all the investigation tied to this particular shooting. And that's just a start.
And what are your thoughts on the city's decision not to release the officer's name?
As I think in most of these cases, I think it's cowardly. If you conducted yourself in a way that you believed in, you'd stand on it. If you believe in what you did, you stand on it. Keep that same energy. But they don't believe in what they did here. They know they messed up. So that's why you don't know what these officers' names are right now.
I would like to send my condolences to the family. Attorney Jackson, I know you mentioned his officer Fields. Is this the same Devin Fields that was in the jail in the shooting 2 years ago?
Yes.
You're saying that Fields was the officer with the assault rifle who shot Jazmir?
We've done our research. We have reason to believe that that is the officer. But the mayor can confirm that. It's the mayor's job to do that. But we are going to be aggressive in getting information that we need to make sure that this family has answers.
So I don't know if he was involved,
One more time,
he shot or
Tell
not.
us how you want your son to be remembered.
He was
Obviously,
there,
you
though.
said he was a light and caring person, very kind, but just one more time, if you wouldn't mind, just tell us how
Allegedly.
you want your son to be remembered, because these last images are horrific.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Just loving, caring, genuine, respectful. A baby, my baby.
Excuse me. They see him as a grown man out the womb, baby. That's a fact. Grown man.
He just is a kind person. He wasn't some thug on the street or anything like that. Jazz was genuinely respectful, helpful, kind, loving.
And funny.
Yes, and funny. And funny.
And remember, Jazz is a twin.
Ace, you don't have to
Twin
announce it.
brother.
Just get the fuck out.
His other half.
How about
He
that?
has a host of siblings, 7 siblings that love him.
You ain't welcome
Mom and
here
dad,
anyway. Bye.
Whole family who love him. Community that loves him. You know, obviously Akron North. I mean, he was only there for
Shout
a few
out the
months
street.
in high school, but you know,
I'm
he
mad
was,
right now.
you know, one of the treasures of that high school, and one of the future kids who were gonna, you know, change the world like LeBron James, and his life was.
I hope you like dancing.
Ms. Green, has the mayor reached out to you?
What's
Hit
next?
the like button. Thank you,
Like I said,
BFF.
what's next is we'll continue our investigation. We'll continue to seek the official answers from the investigation.
That's my
Again,
assault
we're calling
rifle.
on the mayor to stand by his statement
No, Street. I'm
His
mad as
statement.
hell right now.
about getting answers to those questions. We would ask you all to go down to the city hall and hold him accountable
You
as
know
well.
what, Street? Don't play
Because he
with
said he
me.
wanted
Look,
answers.
you use that word for breakfast, Street. I only use it when I'm mad. Super mad.
We appreciate a statement, but they need to provide those answers.
You got me.
Don't
though.
stand in
You
the way
got
of this
me.
family and the truth. They've gone through enough. They don't need to go
Shout
through
out
more
to
of the city
Mouthpiece.
standing in the way of answers to why their son, their nephew, their brother, their cousin is dead. You know?
Why?
Thank you for coming out. I know the family appreciates you giving them the opportunity to speak.
They knew nothing. They knew nothing. Now let's hear what they got to say. I'm very interested. I think this was the latest
Good morning.
press
Thank you for
conference.
joining us. I'm Stephanie Marsh, Director of Communications for the City of Akron. We're here today to discuss the officer-involved shooting, which occurred on Thursday, November 28th, leaving 15-year-old Jazmir Tucker deceased. Last night, we released several body-worn camera videos, as well as an in-car video from the incident. We also released statements from both Akron Mayor Shamus Malik and Police Chief Brian Harding. Today, we'd like to read you those statements and give media an opportunity to ask
This from
questions.
7 days ago.
We want to be
y'all.
clear. The state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation,
Hold on,
known
she's
as
talking too
BCI
fast.
for short,
Hold on.
is conducting an independent investigation of this incident. There are many questions that ultimately will not have answers until they
Slow
have
down,
completed their
Jim Chief.
investigation. We do not have any new information to share today, and we will be very limited on what we can answer at this time. But we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from the mayor and the chief directly on this incident and
Let's
to ask
go.
your questions. At this time, I'd like to welcome up Akron Mayor Shamus Malik.
Hit the damn like button or get out.
Good morning. To lose someone in an officer-involved shooting is truly heartbreaking, especially someone so young.
Please subscribe and press that notification
Beloved
bell
by many
and
people.
thumbs up.
And as I said last night, my heart is with his family, friends, and classmates as they deal with this tragedy. An officer's decision to use deadly force is the most consequential decision they can make, and the circumstances surrounding the use of deadly force demand a heightened scrutiny. Often in these incidents, viewing the officer-worn body camera footage and other available video helps to clarify circumstances and answer some questions. It can also raise additional questions. Last night, we released several videos from the incident. After viewing them, I am left with many serious questions. The two officers who initially responded did not activate their body
Yeah, Street, I gotta go wash my mouth out with some soap. You know what I'm saying? After this live stream. You're rubbing off on me, Street.
cameras upon exiting the vehicle. At some point, the cameras were automatically activated due to the presence of a nearby cruiser with activated lights. And once activated,
around and find
the cameras
out, EA.
can automatically store 30 seconds of video without audio. So we have some video without audio of the shooting.
Alvin,
So my
did you hit
initial
the actual
questions
button?
are why the cameras were not activated by the officers and whether this violated the body-worn camera policy. This will be reviewed in our
Exactly.
internal
I don't know
investigation.
why people come right
I also
in with
believe
that.
many will ask
Like,
why the
dude,
officers used
rude.
rifles instead of handguns in responding to this incident. This will be something that we discuss more going forward, both in our internal investigation as well as part of our comprehensive review of use of force, including
Yeah,
when and how
haters,
different
yeah.
weapons are used. In hindsight,
What it is.
the amount of time that expired between the shooting and the initiation of physical aid to Jazmir is deeply troubling to me. I want to be clear that any unreasonable delay by police officers in rendering aid is unacceptable and has no place in Akron. This issue will be part of our internal investigation, but in the meantime, Chief Harding has instructed APD leadership to
Thank
conduct
you,
roll call
Latasha.
trainings immediately with all of our patrol officers regarding on-scene security and rendering aid. Due to the angle of the body cameras and the light shining on Jazmir after he was initially shot, it's hard to make out
You can be
from the
at
videos what exactly happened leading up to the shooting and immediately following it. A gun was recovered from his zipped up jacket pocket. Given that, why did the officer decide to use his weapon? That question will be the focus of the state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI investigation, which began on the night of the shooting. Once BCI has completed its investigation, the results will be presented to the Ohio Attorney General's office for review and presentation to a grand jury of citizens here in Summit County. The grand jury will determine whether any criminal charges should be filed. When that process is complete, the full BCI investigation will be available to the public on the BCI website. Additionally, after the grand jury process, the city will conduct its internal investigation into the use of force and determine whether a violation occurred. As our community watches these videos, I know there will be many questions. I wish we had more answers to provide in this moment. There are many questions we are not able to answer until the BCI investigation is completed. We do know that 2 shell casings were recovered in the northeast portion of Miller South, and that those are being tested against the gun that was recovered. I think anytime we have young people in our community carrying weapons, we have to ask ourselves why, and we have to work to change that.
Tell them, mouthpiece.
While the BCI and grand jury investigation process, while the BCI and the grand jury process move forward,
up in here.
there are steps that the city of Akron must take now. This year, there have been several incidents involving use of force that have raised
You will
concerns.
be corrected.
In recent months, I've
Blackburn.
shared plans to conduct a comprehensive review of Akron's use of force policy and practices, as well as agency culture. This is essential to ensuring effective and accountable policing in our community. Next week, I will share more details about this use of force review and how I believe this will translate into meaningful and systemic change. I have an enormous amount of respect for our officers and the challenging situations they face. So far this year, Akron police officers have recovered over 950 illegally carried guns in
Boy, I ain't heard a damn thing this man said for real.
our community. And these situations thankfully did not result in loss of life. But this incident that we're talking about today did result in loss of life. And our focus must be on doing everything we can to improve our response in situations like this.
All right.
Good morning. I want to start by sharing my condolences with the family and friends of Jazmir Tucker. An incident like this is tragic for our officers, for our community, but most especially for the loved ones who lost somebody. I know that no officer ever wants to use their weapon in the line of duty. It is the most serious decision any officer can make, and when that decision results in the loss of life, it's an outcome none of us wish to see. The independent investigation is in its very early stages, and there is much we still do not know about what occurred. Even after viewing the videos, there are many things we do not know. I know there are many in the community who have questions and concerns related to the timeliness of the body-worn camera, the delay in rendering aid, and the shooting itself. I hear those concerns, and my hope is that the investigation will provide more clarity. Our community, our department, and most importantly, Jazmir's
They don't
family
think
deserve
so,
an
I
answer
guess,
to those
mouthpiece.
questions.
They
I
hate
want to
on
thank the
you.
Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation for agreeing to take on this case. I am confident that they will conduct an investigation that will provide many of the
Watching
answers
haters.
to the current unknowns. We can only build trust with accountability, and so that will be critical as the investigation unfolds. At the conclusion of the BCI investigation, I will order our Office of Professional Standards and Accountability to conduct an internal investigation to determine if any policies were violated. I know the men and women of the Akron Police Department to be some of the finest people I've ever met. They're dedicated to their roles and to the service to this community. Incidents like this are hard on our community, and they're extremely hard on our officers. I want to thank our officers for continually showing up for our residents.
Man,
and
what
for
are
the
we
important
talking
work they
about
do
here?
each and every day.
What are we talking about?
Finally, I want everyone to know that I completely support Mayor Malik's vision for the use of force policy review. Our department and our officers will be involved every step of the way in helping to address any questions or concerns from residents throughout that process. I believe this review will help better set our officers and our citizens up for success in all encounters and help ensure that unwanted outcomes are less likely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Before we begin our Q&A, I want to again reiterate there are many
Get the
questions that we
reactions,
simply
y'all.
do not have the answers to in this moment. We will do our best to address the areas that we can today. I would ask media to please keep your questions to one at a time to be respectful of others wishing to ask theirs. And if you could please speak loudly and
Go
clearly
lick a
so those
boot,
watching
Butcher.
from our live stream would be able to hear you.
Lick
At this
a
time,
boot
I
or
open it up
two.
for questions. Doug?
What was the specific model of rifle you used? What's the policies or circumstances of when those?
Thank you, Mouthpiece.
I do not have the specifics on the weapons. We have policies that generally cover our response, not specifically around when those weapons will be used. But I think it's important to note that in the last several years in law enforcement in general, officers are using rifles now in response to what we're seeing on the street. We place our officers in really
Is that
complex
who that
situations
idiot
when we
is?
ask them to
Dahmer?
respond to shootings, and so it's not uncommon. But there's not a
What are
clear
we talking
definition of our
about, sir?
policy on
Like,
that.
let me see if I can find some information. This was 7 days ago.
Yeah, so our
They had a
officers, if they're
ballistic.
responding to a shots fired call, someone they know to be armed, it's quite common for them to respond with a rifle, and that's kind of best practice across the country as well.
Yeah, whatever. They didn't
Again, a
even
reminder
know
to
he
keep
had
one
an
question at a time,
firearm.
please. Derek?
Yeah, how many times was Jazmir shot and where?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that information.
Why
and
not?
That will be part of the DCI investigation.
You had a damn press conference. Why you don't know? They don't want to tell no
Based on
information.
The video that you have watched, and I'm assuming you watched more than what was released.
Get the
to
hell
us
outta
because some
here.
of it's been blurred. What actual life-saving rendering aid was provided
None.
to Jazmir by police
None.
before paramedics
He
arrived?
wiped something with a
CPR,
tissue or
was anything
something.
done, chest seal? Did they actually do anything during the time before they rolled him over a handcuff?
Yes, so the officers are clearing that and start to apply chest seals.
He
But
wiped
prior to the
with a
paramedics arrive,
tissue.
or as the paramedics
Do the damn
arrive.
thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
My understanding is they started to at that point, they began to put one on, yes.
So nothing. Just say
Moving over
nothing.
here. Go ahead.
So, Mayor, I want to be clear, maybe Chief, this is a question for you.
40 minutes.
The weapon that Jazmir had, was that inside a zipped up pocket? So when the officers encountered him, just trying to clarify your statement, was he brandishing a weapon or was that weapon?
We do not know
No,
what
he
the
wasn't.
officers saw in responding to this.
He saw a black
What I was
man,
speaking
grown
to
ass man.
is
That's
what
what
you
he said.
see in the body camera footage when they approach him. So we do not know, and that will be again the
He
subject of
seen
the
black
investigation.
and he got ready to shoot. Now, that's
We
it.
saw in the body footage, officers asking to check the parking lot where they had heard shots fired. And I know you said you found the 2 bullet casings. Do we know if there's anyone else involved that may have been shot at in the parking lot, or anything additional in regards to what happened?
We do not have those answers at this time, no.
So they said only one
Mayor,
the second
you
officer
spoke
didn't
about,
fire.
Teens with firearms and some of your desires to fix some of these issues. A lot of the scope of possible solutions for some of those things aren't under the standard powers of a mayor. Do you have any frustrations in trying to solve this with that in mind?
These are issues that we've been talking about this year. These are issues that the community has been talking about for a long time.
Oh my God.
You know,
Why-
safety,
why?
education, protecting our youth, giving our youth.
What are they doing about it? Nothing. Okay. So this is what it says that. So y'all already know the body cam footage. He already fired. It's only 30-second pause before the audio kicks in. 30 seconds. He already done fired, and they still had time after he fired. So probably in 10 seconds he fired. They arrived on the scene because they were on the scene already and heard gunshots. They seen a black man, like automatically, you're black, you're a grown ass, oversized 6 feet man, whether you're 4 feet tall or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Automatically, you're a threat. That's the way they act, period. They seen him appear. They don't know if he was the one firing or not. They never seen a weapon because it was not in his hand. They had to unzip his jacket and found it at the bottom with an extended magazine or whatever. They had to grab it. Soon as he unzipped the jacket, he was like, a gun. Oh, no, it's not. They automatically put a weapon with him. He didn't see nothing. So they're now trying to figure out, allegedly, how to make it make sense and work for them, as if he knew that he had the weapon. You didn't know. Then he said he reached. Oh, he got shot because he reached, not because he actually seen a weapon. Yeah, he was reaching on his right side. And so what they said is the 2 officers left their cruiser about 11 p.m. November 28th to investigate the shots they heard at the school or whatever, the area. When they encountered Jazmir, one officer, a 5-year veteran, fired his weapon and struck Jazmir, who died at an area hospital. The second officer never fired. Now, the other thing, like I said, you can't run from these bastards no more because they don't want to chase. So automatically they gonna find a reason to fire at you, and they can shoot you in the damn back. But if somebody break in your house and they running and you shoot them in the back, you going to jail. Make that make sense. If he was running, he wasn't no threat to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, knock it off. And then you bring the biggest weapon that you got and hit him multiple times. It ain't no excuse for that. And I don't even know if I want to keep listening at this because they ain't saying a
exciting,
damn
empowering
thing.
Things to do.
And this was
helping
7
keep
days
them out
ago.
of trouble.
And this happened on Thanksgiving. We should know something by now. Speed it up. Now, this family, man, this is awful. Like, awful. Yes, no, he shouldn't have had the weapon, but they didn't even know about it. Just like the guy said. It's really pointless to even bring it up because they never knew that he had it. All they seen was somebody black. The boy, he ran. Hell, I would have ran too, seeing that big ass gun he had in his hand already. He was scared. He ran. He knew he had the weapon. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was just scared. Unless they can tell us with proof that he actually fired, and even if he did, did anybody die? Did he deserve to lose his life that day on that ground, or did he deserve his day in court?
These are all things we've been working on. They're not the subject of this specific incident and why we're here, but it is something that we as a community, as a society, have to be relentlessly focused on. And so you'll continue to hear from this administration about ways in which we are trying to protect our youth, empower our youth, and support them. So I appreciate the question.
Did officers make any commands to Jazmir before opening fire?
We do not have that information. It'll be, again, the subject of BCI investigation.
Boy, it ain't gonna be no room in the block party in a minute. Y'all got to be piled up.
That we don't know the answer to questions like that.
Boy, look.
Whether or not he was.
I was looking at my block list, right?
Body camera.
It was like 58 and more. Like, yeah, the block list is long. I know that party is hot and funky by now.
Came on it because we don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't know that. What is the policy regarding the use of those body-worn cameras?
So we have a policy which is available online and the use of our body-worn cameras, and we can provide that as well. The policy is when we respond to call, our officers should activate their body-worn camera. There are exceptions built in if there's something that occurs quickly that they don't have time to do that, and I just don't know what they perceived at that point yet.
Doug?
What's the name of the officer who pulled the trigger?
We are not going to be providing that today. in each situation that we have addressed this year involving use of force, we have weighed, we have shared names, but we have in each case weighed specific threats that officers are facing versus the value that we do have in transparency. And so we'll continue to work on assessing that and making that evaluation in light of releasing the information that we did last night. So I understand why it's being asked, but that is the process that we've used this year that we feel is appropriate. We have an obligation to make sure that folks are safe from harm. And at the same time, we also have to balance that against the interest of transparency.
Up, boy. I never know who the troll is or
Back
not.
to the rendering aid, was CPR an option? Should CPR have been used on Jazmir? And what possible reasons could there be?
Should it have been? Let me think.
Somewhere between 6 and 8 minutes. I don't know if you have an exact time on that.
So I as we mentioned several times, we do not have all the facts right now to accurately assess what occurred.
When
That
y'all
is part
gonna
of the
have
BCI
the
investigation.
facts?
So I don't want to speculate.
Hit the
on that. Hopefully
reaction,
those are things
please.
that we'll look for between their investigation and our internal investigation at the same time.
Are there reasons why?
Yeah, the first scene, when officers respond to a scene, the first thing they need to do is assess the safety of the scene. After that assessment, if they believe that the scene is safe, then we go to rendering aid and calling for EMS.
Well, how
That's a
long
decision
did
the
they need
officers
to
have make
figure
at that
out if it
point,
was
and I do
safe
not
or
have
not?
information at this point to reference what they were doing there. I do know that they were calling for ballistic shields to.
How long did he need to lay there not moving before they move in? It sure don't take them no time to fire the shot. Not none.
Approach, and that was what you heard on some of the video. I just can't I'm not going to speculate. I don't know right now.
Of course you're not, sir.
Have either of you spoken with Jazmir's family, and can you speak to when they were given the video?
What a shame.
I know in their press conference they said maybe they hadn't gotten it.
Don't tell her what they said.
I've shared my condolences publicly. I certainly, my heart goes out to them. I haven't wanted to, impose. This is not about me, but certainly, they have my heartfelt sympathies. The family was given the opportunity to view the footage yesterday before it was released to the public. So we went through that process.
Mm-hmm.
So without divulging the name of the officer, what can you tell us about this officer, the officer who fired these rounds?
The officer's file is available for public record request. I don't have details to share sitting here today, but that certainly can be requested and can be provided. As we've shared, he has spent nearly 5 years with the department, and that's what I can share here.
You mentioned how this has been a number of.
His name Devon Fields. Wait, what was his name?
Involving teens.
Hold on, we want to make sure we got that name.
So, is there anything your administration is looking into or trying to do to help ensure that doesn't lead to any rising tensions between the community members, but maybe specifically teenagers and the police department?
That is exactly why we're going to be talking more about that use of force review next week, to be able to have those conversations, but more than conversations, take actionable steps to strengthen our policies, our practices, our culture. As I said, our officers deal with difficult circumstances, right? When you look at the number of illegally carried weapons being taken off the street, at the same time, we all want to make sure that encounters with police are safe, and that
Well, hell, I mean, the community is unsafe with them around. Like I said, it got escalated as soon as they arrived.
that our negative outcomes that involve deadly force are as least likely as possible. And so that will be our focus. That will be something, again, we talk about in much more detail next week.
We'll take 2 more questions. Bob?
Are all this might be for the chief, but are all rifles department issued, or do officers?
Ain't none of them
buy their own
department
rifles?
issued.
Is this
They
one
bring
a
their own.
department issued rifle, and can they be modified?
They have some, but the cops, they are allowed to purchase their own and bring their own weapons. You know what I'm saying?
As in putting a silencer or anything like that?
The majority of the officers purchase their own weapons. They're required to go through training and qualify with them, and then we document that information.
They are department issued? Or
No, the majority of the rifles are not department issued. We have some.
That's
The
the
majority of the officers purchase themselves, but they have to qualify with
Y'all
them,
having fun with
us, and
the
they go through training with those as well.
Is that a roach,
Correct.
Biff? Wait a minute.
There.
Is that a roach?
The two shell casings recovered from where officers heard shots.
That will ultimately be up to BCI when they enter those in NIBIN. But hopefully, I would hope to have answers on that question next week.
All right, that concludes today's press conference. Thank you so much for coming. Anyone with additional
I
questions, please
didn't
reach out to
learn
press at
nothing
akronohio.gov
that I didn't
or to
already
Captain
know.
Michael Miller, who's our PIO for Akron
I
Police.
don't care. I didn't learn a damn thing that I didn't already know. Nah. So I guess we still gotta wait to figure out what's what, and it'll be interesting. How long does it take for ballistics to come back? We can't have 20. Oh, it's crickets. It sure look like a roach to me. Well, they probably got crickets because they at the block party. But I don't know. I don't know what you was talking about. I don't know if y'all still playing with the trolls or not. When you're black, the cops take everything and families get nothing. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, yet another one. And oh, that's what I was doing. I was looking for that paperwork that I was looking at. I need to grab this. That's something I do not like about Facebook. Soon as you click off, it takes you off of the thing. It don't take you back to where you were. Even if somebody send you a link, it'll take you to the whole Facebook app. At least that's my experience. But this guy is on paid leave. I don't remember his name. I know it was Field. I want to say Devin. I don't know. God dang it. But anyway, yeah, so I was talking about Mike. Oh, okay. So you were saying I still see a Mike typing. So I be scared to put these names up here that I'm not used to seeing. Ain't no telling what they be saying. But yeah, this is very upsetting, and we gonna follow it to see what happens. Smoking auditor. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. That's what's up. The smoking auditor. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Who caught that one? I guess I don't have my yeah, who caught that one? That gift. Hold on. We like nice people in here. Thank you so much. Welcome to Sleuth Nation. Whoever caught that one. Let me move. Let me see. So yeah, so as a matter of fact, I act like I don't have nothing to do in a few hours. So I will be back live tomorrow. It's so much that I want to talk about concerning the Luigi case, some different things that I've been looking at. And I will be going live talking about that tomorrow. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. You know what I'm saying? Hit the thumbs up right now. That will be very helpful. Smack those reactions. Act like you enjoyed the show. We cannot have 28,000 trolls in here. I refuse to believe that 28,000 of y'all is really trolls. I can't believe that. So please hit the thumbs up. It's not hard. It's free. It's free. But anyway, y'all, I gotta get out of here. This is my second live stream of the day. Check out my other videos. As a matter of fact, check out my last video that I did on Luigi. It's a lot of information. We broke that news here. Well, we helped break the news. I believe they planted that weapon. It ain't no telling because we couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? But we did. I don't know if I'm gonna have to look to see. Did I see him soon as they roll him over, unzip it? Because from one angle you could see them in the jacket, but I don't know if I seen him unzip it all the way. I'm gonna have to look. I think I did. Because soon as he unzipped, oh, it's a gun. Oh, no. And then gun. Yeah, so they did show us that. But hey, it was so much time that we couldn't see. I don't know. I don't trust nothing. You know, it was some angles we couldn't see. It was the bright light. You know, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. It will. Can pics be altered? Pics can be altered. Pics, yeah, definitely. Footage, all that. I mean, they was all huddled around. I couldn't see nothing. I don't know how his eyesight was so great. He's reaching. You're not allowed to reach. Don't you kind of put your arm to the side when you're running? Was he really reaching or was he really just running? Yeah, I would have ran too if I had a weapon. I would have wanted to. But my thing is though, too, when they got that on their mind, it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. But we can help the case. Like, I don't know, people need to start teaching their black children how to respond when the cops come. You know, how to respond when they come. Don't run. You know, don't reach. But they didn't know nothing. And they fired. He brought out the big gun, seen a black man, and they automatically a man. You know what I'm saying? Automatically. You're grown. They don't see none of them as teenagers, kids, none of that. Automatically, they see a grown, 6 foot tall, at minimum, man when they see black. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. Period. Yeah, it was in his jacket. I live up the street from where it happened. Did you? Yes, I seen it. I seen it in his jacket. But what she was saying is that they might have planted it when we wasn't looking, you know. So it'll be interesting. You know, I want to know all about it. But just like they lawyer said, they did not see a weapon. They did not see it. He did not point it. He was running. They don't want to do the chase. But what I was also saying, please teach your black kids how to respond to cops. Don't run. They looking for a reason. They don't chase no more. They fire and they get away with it. And they get on paid leave like he is right now until this is over. And then they do it again. It probably happened again that same night. He gets a double judge on Drizzt. My son respectful as AF and still gets frisked. Oh yeah, they gonna frisk you for sure. And when you got locks, automatically they put you in a certain category. You know what I'm saying? And you mixed or whatever. Like, yeah. Mixed is black too. Like, they don't see them as mixed either. They don't care. Black, the ones that don't claim black, Africans or wherever they from, you black too. That all they see is dark. I mean, this seriously, because I watch too many shows on YouTube where, I mean, these guys be reading them their rights and they know the law better than they do, and it's quite disturbing. And they do it just so you can see this, just so you can see how they act. And when I tell you, they come correct with those guys. They be listening to them. They don't get all irate with them. They, you know, it just blows my mind. I'm gonna have to show y'all what I'm talking about one day. And automatically, a black person is a threat. And so many people act like they're ignorant to that. And it's always the ones that they don't live black. So they act like they don't see what's going on. But it happens every single day. And I got so much of it on this channel. If you haven't seen it, go down the timeline. Go check out my playlist. Go check out my videos. We talk about it a lot over here, and it's quite upsetting. Yet again. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. I will be back tomorrow. There's going to be another video that pop up after this video. Please hit the thumbs up, the notifications, and all of that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up on this video. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and love, y'all. We out. Enjoy the block party, everybody. No audio. Thank you, BFF. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Next time, hit it first. Playing with me and my life. And this is for the trolls.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Lock his ass up.
I hope y'all enjoying that block party. Peace and love, y'all. We out.